Welcome back to the Office Hours Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kobe.
And in today's episode, we'll be talking about just everything around managing your finances, from investing to credit cards to savings accounts, everything around that scope. So hopefully you guys learn something today.
Yeah, and I know for college students, finances is kind of something you might not be thinking about right now just because you're a student, you don't have a full-time job. Some people want to put it off till they get a job, but I think this is a perfect time to learn about finances and kind of learn what to do now before you get into the real world. So
I guess to start off, we want to ask, why should college students start thinking about saving or start thinking about their finances earlier on rather than later when they get a job and stuff like that?
Well, at least for me, I think it's important because if you know how to manage money before you really have any, then once you get money, you're gonna know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I'll be watching videos about people do salary breakdowns and they show how much money they make, spend on this, and that. And I noticed a lot of grown adults who don't really know how to manage their finances, or they'll say, "Oh, I just learned how to do this. I just started doing this and that." And I'm I feel like that's something you should have learned before you started making money. And so when you get the money, you know how to manage it.
You know what you're doing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I think for me personally as well, it's something used to being able to know what to do before you have the money. So when you do have it, there's no confusion. There's no quote unquote money that's lost. There's no you have no quote unquote excuses, basically. And I always see all those lottery videos, and people make a whole bunch of money, and then they either go spend it on material things, or they just waste the money away, and they always end up back where they started. And I feel like I don't want to be in that position where let's say I do start, whenever I start making more money, still living I'm still having whatever I'm making now, basically.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have a sense of financial freedom, financial security that I guess is learned through just learning about just financial literacy now. So
yeah, because you're gonna go through that where no matter how much money you're making, if you're first starting to learn about finances and yourself, you're gonna go through that period where you're maybe blowing money or you're not managing it right.
Yeah,
it's better to do that before you get the money to save yourself from losing out on a lot of money.
Yeah, genuinely. I guess so. What are some mistakes that college students make now in terms of managing their finances?
I would say one is kind of keeping track of your money.
Yeah.
Just in terms of saving, what's savings, what's for spending, what's for whatever. In college, a lot of people's finances are different. Some people have a job, some don't.
Yeah.
Some have to pay tuition, some don't. It's different, but depending on your situation, I think everyone should be keeping track of their money. And then two, learning your habits, because a lot of people don't think about this, but money is and especially spending money there's an emotional aspect to it.
Yeah.
And it's different to each person. So some people might be prone to spending more money when they're maybe in a more emotional space or whatever, but learning that about yourself is important as well. So
you think that being able to identify that will help you to I guess work around it in a way?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that could help you maybe protect yourself from moments like that.
Yeah.
If you know you're that kind of person, you maybe you get sad and you go out to eat or you go out, whatever. Maybe you decide, okay, when I get paid, I'm going to set aside this much for saving, this much for going out and all that. So you have, okay, this money is set aside for that, and you don't go over that and spend too much money.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that one mistake that at least I've made my freshman year was that not thinking long term, or not thinking with the holistic, I guess, viewpoint, because I saved up a decent amount of money for my freshman year. So I think we were talking about this earlier too. Come fall semester, I'm looking at my account. I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So every time we go out, we might be getting food, going out to events, stuff like that. I was spending freely under the notion that I saved up for this so I can spend on this. And to an extent, that was true. But come spring semester, obviously the money that I saved was getting a little lower, and so I had to, I guess, be more smart with what I was spending. But I think if I would have just looked at the money I had and try and like see how I could fully utilize it and spread it out over the semester, it would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely important looking at the long term. Because me, I didn't save up that much for the school year. Like I was telling you about it. I bought a computer. That I spent a lot of money on that, and I had a decent chunk left over, but nothing that lasted me the whole year.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have a job, so I was able to make money back. But looking back, I definitely would have saved up more money.
Yeah.
For sure.
I guess going into that, the whole talking about saving and just having a whole holistic mindset, what do you think are some mindset changes that are important to have when in regards to having money and just like stewarding your money better?
I guess it's hard to say this, but just being disciplined. I know it's hard to just implement and change. And the only way I say you can do that is by coming up with a plan for your money.
Yeah.
So one, knowing how much you're making, what you need money for, and then come up with a plan off of that. I think everyone should have more than one bank account, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
So a savings account, checkings account, maybe another for, I don't know, but that way when you get paid and you come up with a plan, if you're setting aside money for whatever, you put that money in another bank account and you don't touch it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help you, because if you're getting paid and all this money is going to one account, you're looking and you think, oh, I have all this money to spend.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely misleading.
Definitely.
What do you think?
I was gonna get into that a little bit later too, but in terms of like the whole mindset thing, I think that one thing that I've had to, I guess, adapt or like adopt is like one, trying to live below my means, like live off of what I need and not what I want, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I have the money doesn't mean I spend the money, basically, type of thing.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're actually going to need the money you have. And if you're going strictly off of the number you see in your account, you might find yourself in a position where you're not able to, I guess, provide for yourself or anyone else when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So I've been trying to like even certain days we might go out and like get food, stuff like that. Like if I don't need it that bad, like it being more reserved, or I guess not trying to blow back because I can, basically.
Yeah.
Just trying to be more reserved in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Definitely live below your means. And I would say in college that shouldn't be hard, because, I mean, nobody around you should be or is really like spending a lot of money. So it's not. I mean, maybe, but you don't really see it. Like I don't really see people. I don't know. Nobody's driving crazy cars or going on crazy trips. So it's not like you're being tempted by anything crazy, I don't think. So
I feel like along with that too is I've been trying to look at just the whole idea of money as like a way to create freedom for yourself rather than like status, or rather to like, I guess, create enjoyment, whatever that might mean. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like in this society, a lot of things, or basically everything, runs off of money. Mm-hmm. You know, so you need money to, I guess, be comfortable or to have a little freedom to do whatever you want to do. But I've been trying to use it for that rather than using money as like, I can get this, that, and the third. I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like when it comes to like buying clothes and stuff, or like buying shoes, I try and be more reserved. Obviously, I still do them, but trying to be reserved, because at the end of the day, the reason I need the money right now is just so I can have freedom and have comfortability while I'm in college. So
yeah, that makes me want to add one more point too, that to think about like what you're spending your money on in terms of like I like to look at if I'm spending something on, or if I'm spending the money to like save time, or if it's for convenience, that's probably not a good purchase. Mm-hmm. Like fast food or Ubering somewhere. If I could walk, or if there's another alternative, but the money would just make it faster, it's probably better to just save that money. Yeah. Instead of spending it.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point in your life, that mentality could change, and that's fine. Like let's say you will be a little older and you need to get from point A to point B, you save time, might as well Uber. But I feel like the point we at now, like it's just smarter to just, like you said, walk places or stuff like that. So I definitely get that.
Every dollar counts. So
Literally. I feel like when you actually start paying attention to your accounts, like every dollar generally counts.
nah, for real.
Genuinely. But I guess we can move on to the next topic. You were talking about, I guess, having multiple accounts. We can like open a conversation for like credit cards versus debit cards. Do you have a credit card?
I don't have a credit card now, but I will get one probably in the summer. I just don't. I don't have it right now because I'm paying tuition, a lot of stuff. So I don't really want to add another headache of paying off my credit card and stuff. Even though I probably could, it's just not really a priority right now. But I will be getting one. I've been doing some research on it. So
What have you found out so far?
well, one, I've been looking at different cards and like what the differences are between them. Like some offer more cash back for certain things, some have fees, some don't. It really just depends on what you spend money on for. But the main reason anyone should be getting a credit card is to build your credit score. Like it's not like free money. So whatever it is, you're still gonna be spending money. I think just look at what will be the easiest and most efficient way for you to build your credit. So
I was gonna say like the whole fundamental thing of a credit card is to build credit. There's so many things in our future that rely on credit, like car loans, like even later on like mortgages and stuff like that, or like interest rates. Like we don't need it now, but we might as well start building that now so that when we do need it, it's not an issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's so many cases of people who don't realize that, and then when they get to that time where it's time to buy a car, the amount they have to spend on the car is way crazier. If they would have just built their credit.
Yeah.
And there are other ways to build credit without a credit card, but I feel like a credit card is the simplest way that can also help you to just build better habits in general.
Yeah. You have a credit card, right?
Yeah, I got two. So
how's that? How you been maintaining that? And how'd that? When'd you get it?
I got my first credit card with my dad my senior year, like after the end of my senior year, and then it was just a Freedom Rise card. The benefits it has, I'll save the pictures of it. The benefits it has, it had 2% cash back on Lyft rides, and then 1% cash back on everything, every purchase. So that was pretty good. So whenever I would use it as like a debit card. So whenever I need to make a purchase, I would just pay it on my credit card and then pay it off with my debit card. Right. But I never spent any money that I didn't already have, basically. And then, so I had that card for a year, and I was able to, I guess, use it wisely, use it smartly. So I decided to open up a second card. So I opened up the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And that card, I opened up that card because it has no fees, annual fees, but it has way more benefits. So it has 5% cash back for travel, and then it has 1.5 unlimited cash back, and then it also has 3% cash back on like any drugstore purchases, and then 3% back on dining, and 2% on Lyft rides as well. So like you get all those benefits for the same, like you're not spending no money, but you're getting all the money back on what you spend basically.
Yeah.
So I use my different cards differently, and I got a second card as well because it gave me a higher credit limit. So now that I had two credit cards, I can use more money at once, basically, if I needed to.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, like, we went out to eat, hypothetically, and, like, everyone went out to eat, and someone got to put on their card. Like, allegedly, I could put it on my card because I have a higher credit limit. And it wouldn't be, like, a quote-unquote issue.
I wouldn't do that, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, not friends. No, you're not getting that money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to be missing, like, a good 40. Good 40.
Yeah.
But no, I think I wrote down like a couple of things that influence your credit from a credit card. And it's the main reason why I decided to get one earlier. But the way credit card works is it's impacted by a few different things. So I think around 35% of your credit score is based off your payment history. Like if you're paying everything on time, if you're late or early, stuff like that. And then 30% is based on credit utilization. So if you're using, I think it's like around 30% or lower of your credit card, like that's good.
Yeah.
So that they're giving you money to use but you're not relying on it or like being lenient on it.
Using too much of it.
And then you're paying it off right away, basically, every month. And then credit history length also counts. That's why I always advise, like, never close out your first credit card, like, ever. Because even if you don't use it, just having it already, like, gives you a boost in your credit score. Because it shows that, like, you can be trusted with having, quote unquote, extra money or loaned money, and you're able to, like, steward it correctly and deal with it correctly.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm gonna ever close out my first credit card.
Yeah.
And then credit mix as well, like the amount of cards that you have. And I think this is the more cards you have at once, the more that counts towards your credit score.
Yeah.
But I always like advise like a little bit against that, because if you try and stack too many cards, that could be bad in terms of like fees and stuff and actually using them. But in theory, the more cards you have, the better.
Yeah.
And then, what you gonna say?
I think it depends on where you're at, like career wise, how much money you make. Because if you're making more money, I think you can. Like I've heard of people who don't even have a debit card. It's just, like 5 different credit cards.
Yeah. I generally don't think I haven't used my debit card since I got credit cards.
Interesting.
I just put it on my credit card and I just paid off.
Yeah.
But the last thing was like new card inquiries too. I think it's like every 12 months you can open up a new card without any like effect on your credit score.
Penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you open it up back to back, like it'll drop your score a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those things are like important when it comes to opening up a credit card and are important to keep in mind. But if you stay within the rules, having a credit card really isn't quote unquote that difficult. The only thing that makes it difficult is the mindset of like free money versus borrowed money.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Because whenever you hear stories of people who had credit cards and it turned out bad for them, it's because they're always overspending on what they don't actually have.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not free money. Like, just think it's your credit score is basically just how well you are with. Think if you were to give somebody money, how well they are at paying it back, how much they're using, how frequently. Like, if you have someone who's always asking for money, they're always spending a bunch of it, they're not paying you back, like, you're not going to want to lend them money. So just think of that, but reversed. You're the person borrowing the money. So if you don't have it, I wouldn't be spending it because it's not your money.
Yeah.
You have to pay that back. So
Yeah.
and credit card debt like stacks.
That's credit card debt. Like, you don't want to get in credit card debt because I'm pretty sure like it accrues interest as well. So like it keeps getting worse and worse if you don't pay it off on time. So that's one thing I always like. Don't spend what you don't see in your account. Like, if you don't see a number in your account, don't stop the card, bro.
Spend that money.
Don't stop the card, bro.
I seen a dude on TikTok with 100,000 in credit card debt. That's insane. Like, that's completely life changing.
Yeah, I think the thing is that like some people, they need the money, you know. So like when they have the option of having a credit card, it's an easy swipe to like just borrow the money. But in that scenario, I would advise like, let's say you have a credit card and you need the money, but you don't have the money. I would advise, like, think of it as like you don't even have money, like you can't even use your credit card or nothing, and go to like either family, friends, or wherever you need to go to try and get help with that, but not trying to lean on your credit card because it's only gonna go downhill from there. You can't pay it off.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of it because it accrues interest, so you're gonna have to pay more and more over time.
And there's people now who are like in adulthood still trying to pay off credit card debt that they accrue when they're in college or accrue when they were younger.
Yeah.
So it's just not worth that at all. But I think to oppose all of the downside, there is still so much like upside you can use when it comes to credit cards. Like all the cash back stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had stored or stocked up to like, I think it was like 100 or 200 in like cash back only off of using it for a year. Like, it's literally free money that they're giving back to you.
Yeah, that's definitely. I know each credit card or each card has different like offers. Some will give you, I think, like 200 if you spend a certain amount.
Yeah.
In the first 3 months or whatever.
That's easy to do as well.
Yeah. So there's definitely incentives if you're using it right.
Yeah.
You just gotta pick the right one for you.
Do you know about like differences from like the credit cards without annual fees versus the ones with annual fees?
I haven't really looked at ones with fees, but I know those usually are higher limit, usually they have more like incentives
Yeah.
and things like that. Those are usually more for people who are making more money and they use their credit card like for everything.
Yeah.
For a student, like I wouldn't look at those. Those are probably not the best idea. Like Amex Platinum card, you know what that card?
Yeah.
It's like
I was about to talk about that.
$800 a year, I think. But
Yeah.
the amount of rewards you get back is like
Yeah.
almost 3-4 times that. So
It pays it off.
yeah.
But I think
You're
with
right.
with annual cars and annual fees, like you have to know how to use your card. Like
Yeah.
if you're using it, you have to be having it for a purpose. Like I think one of the Amex cards, I think it's gold. It gives you a certain amount of money, either cash back or like just it gives you money for stuff like groceries and stuff like that. Like if you have one of those cards, like you have to fully utilize its perks to get the most bang for your buck, basically.
Yeah.
I plan on opening cards with Amex when I graduate, but right now I'm trying to just be as more what's it called, educated on it.
Yeah.
But I know some cards have perks for traveling, like they give you a certain amount of money for hotels or a certain amount of money for flights, stuff like that. So it's definitely a good thing. But when you get into like cards with fees, that's when like you have to really be able to manage your money because
Yeah.
like what's the word? How do I say this? Because that's when like if you start stacking multiple cards, you're paying fees on multiple cards, and then if you don't have the money, that's just putting you deeper and deeper into a hole.
Or if you're not using it, you're just paying for no reason.
Yeah, and then
That's when you got to know what you're spending or like using your credit card
Yeah.
for too. Like if you don't travel a lot, you don't really like use your credit card a lot. Like
You have
an
no reason to
Amex
have it.
Platinum card is not a good
Yeah.
idea.
yeah, but like let's say you're in a career where like you're traveling constantly, and you like it'll help you out. Like it'll only give you free perks to use it. Then
Yeah.
that's a really good idea to have it.
Yeah.
It help people who use cards smartly are able to like just be way more free. I know some cards. I don't know if it's an Amex Platinum or a different one, but you get like, what's it called? I'm blanking out right now. What's it called when like not the public seating, but it's not VIP.
First
seating.
class?
First class. I think you get first class with certain cards.
Yeah.
Like you get like, hospitality suite access in
Sky Lounge, I think.
yeah, sky lounges in airports with certain cards have a lot of good benefits.
Yeah.
But just knowing that like you're actually gonna use it and you're not using it because you have the card, but you have the card because you need it, basically.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
You just got to know your financial situation. Everyone's is different.
Not generally. But I guess the main tips I have against, or main mistakes that college students make that you don't want to make with credit cards, is just like paying only the minimum of your balance. I would say just pay everything in full. Because if you pay only the minimum, that also can lead you to being in debt. Because
Yeah.
you keep just paying the minimum, and that counts as they'll include interest on that as well.
Yeah.
And then some cards don't, but most cards do. And then treating cards like free money, and then just open up too many cards.
Yeah.
But other than that, like there aren't too many mistakes you can make other than spending money you don't have.
Yeah. I just try to look at it like, imagine if you're lending somebody money. Like,
Yeah.
how would you want them
To deal with it.
Yeah. So, and then apply that to yourself. Because
Yes.
it all makes a difference.
That's a good standpoint to have.
Yeah. I don't have a credit card, but I do have a credit score just because student loans. So if you have taken out student loans, or you will take out student loans, it will affect your credit score. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Like that's not as bad because
Yeah.
you pay that off over time.
I didn't know that. How does that work?
I don't know, to be honest. One day I opened my bank account and I saw
Yeah.
a credit score, and I'm like,
Really?
that doesn't make sense. I don't have a credit card. But then I was like, oh, I've taken out loans. So,
Yeah.
but as long as you're not like defaulting on your payments or behind or anything, it shouldn't affect your credit score.
Yeah, 'cause I know you can build credit off a card, but like also like loans, I think.
Yeah.
Is it like checks you can make credit off that or nah?
I'm not sure, but I know for loans, yeah, for sure.
It was like loans. What affects?
Anytime you're borrowing money, you can boost your credit score if you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, it says loans, cell phone bills, and then yeah, I think it's just loans and cell phone bills and stuff like that. Anything with like long time payments.
Yeah. Bills too is a good way to boost your credit score. If you have like a Spotify subscription or something, throw that on your credit card.
Yeah.
If you pay that off every month, that can help you.
Yeah. I guess to get started with a credit card, I would say, like a little quick tip, put one thing that you only pay with a credit card. Like that could be like groceries, only pay with a credit card. Like you eat food, only pay with a credit card. And then slowly start to pay everything with it. So that you build a habit of like, I'm gonna pay it and pay it off. And then after a while, you won't even need your debit card because you just use your credit card to pay it off.
Yeah.
But I guess we can move on to the next topic. What's your knowledge on like retirement accounts, like Roth IRAs or 401k, stuff like that?
I think I have a little more knowledge than most people my age. I started doing like research on that. I want to say last summer, whenever I started making money.
Yeah.
I did open a Roth IRA. I have some money in a Roth IRA. I had some in a brokerage account, but had to pull some out. I needed it, but I still have a Roth. Basically, a Roth or a 401k is just a retirement account. A Roth IRA stands for individual retirement account, I think.
I think so.
But basically, you just put money in there, whatever investments you make, the money that accrues, as long as you don't withdraw it before a certain age. I want to say it's 65 for a Roth. Then you can take it out tax-free. So if you're putting money in, let's say you put money into a Roth IRA and over that time span, you make $3 million. If you take it out before, or you take it out before the, or after whatever age it is, you can take all that money tax-free. Otherwise, I think it's like 10% tax. So
Something like that, yeah. But I think the biggest distinction that you said from like a Roth IRA versus a 401k is a Roth IRA, your money is taxed when you put it in. Then when you take it out, it's tax-free. But for a 401k, it's taxed when you take it out. But when you put it in, like it just stays however much you put it in. But I think I have a 401k personally, and I think the biggest reason I have a 401k is because the company that I work for, they do like employee match. So whatever percent I put in there, they also match it and put it in there as well. So it's basically like free money. But let's say like your company doesn't have matching, then like I would also, I guess, advise to get a Roth IRA too.
yeah.
But right now, the way I have my thing set up is that my 401k takes away 10% of my check like immediately. Like I don't even see it. Like I don't even know. Like I can literally like go months without even checking and not knowing where the money's going. But obviously I check. But it takes away 10% of my paycheck and puts it into the account, and then the employer matches everything I put in. They put in up to a certain limit, obviously, but they match everything, and then so it's like double. And then the money sits there, and I think it's invested into a whole like fund,
Index fund.
that invests in like individual stuff, like
Yeah.
I think NASDAQ and then S&P 500, stuff like that. So you can also look at investing as like investing in individual stocks themselves, or it's like putting them all in the index fund and then letting that, I guess, do the work.
Yeah. If you're just starting out, I probably wouldn't be individual stock picking, just because like you're not gonna beat the market by yourself. It's easier to just put it in the index fund and let it grow slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I think index funds on average grow 10% each year. I want to say that's correct. So
Check it out.
it's easier to just put it in there and not look at it. And over time, like, compound interest builds up. So that's why it's better to start early. Like, I know I started early because the earlier you start, the more money.
Yeah.
Even if you're putting in, you don't have to put in a whole bunch of money. You could put $50 a month in, and over time, obviously you'll start to make more money and put more money in. But over time, that money grows and it's worth more. Like right now, I'm not putting money into my Roth just because I'm paying tuition and other things like that. But definitely next year when I have more money saved and, you know, finances are looking a little different, I'm going to put more money into it. But
I think it's still important to have money in there right now because even if you're not even putting money in there, like even having it in there now, like it's
Still
gonna
growing.
yeah, it's still growing.
Yeah.
And you started it earlier, so it's just gonna grow more. I was looking at this thing in terms of if you start 10 years earlier, adding money into your account, how much of a difference it'll make.
Yeah.
I can't find the exact numbers, but I remember I was listening to this podcast that revolves around investing, and it was talking about if you would just invest 10 years earlier, maybe that's around like I think like 50K, 100K more money that you might put in there, something like that. You will make way more on top
Yeah.
of it just because you started putting it earlier. The interest just
Like millions.
that's yeah, literally
I'm pretty sure.
just
Yeah.
stacks on each other. So
Yeah.
that's why I always try like whoever I talk to about finances, like open up them accounts now, bro.
Yeah.
Open up accounts now because it might not mean nothing now, but you're gonna be glad you did it when you get older.
Because this is for 50 years from now. So if you start when you're in your 30s
Yeah,
compared to now, like that's 10 years of compound interest that you missed out on.
no, genuinely.
So even if you don't have to, even if you put $10 a month in there, that's still better than nothing, and it grows over time. So
All right, that was the last topic. I was gonna ask, like, do you have any other like investing ball knowledge that people should know about?
I haven't really been like investing as much lately in school, just because I don't really. It's not a priority for me at the moment, but
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of good there's a lot of good information out there. There's some great information or Instagram pages. One is called Earn Your Leisure. They talk about they have a podcast too, but they talk about like finances and stuff.
yeah,
They talk about politics and stuff a little bit too, but it's all related to finances.
yeah,
There's another page, I think it's called like Finance Simplified or something like that, but they have a lot of good like graphics showing like what you're talking about, like the difference of when you start investing and how much you invest. But yeah, there's a lot of good information out there. I would say too, when you start, if you're starting to get into finances and stuff, don't like you're not gonna get rich quick. Like, that's
Yeah.
not what it is. Don't try to pick stocks based on, oh, I think it's gonna go up this much. Like it's the odds of that happening are very, very low, and you're more likely to lose money than if you just put it in there and don't look at it. So
that's it. Yeah, I think the things that I've used to, like, I guess, learn financial literacy. I used to look at TikToks a lot. Like over time, I would just sit and just go on TikTok and search up credit card information stuff or investing stuff. I learned a lot through there. And then there's an episode on Diary of a CEO. It's a Spotify podcast where he had different investors
yeah,
on the show. Like they were each debating their own style of investing. Some people were people who invested in individual stocks versus people who put stocks or put shares in the S&P 500, stuff like that. So
I saw that episode. Yeah,
like that episode, like it puts you into perspective of a lot of different ways that you could, I guess, manage your money basically.
yeah.
So I think those are two important things.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of nuance to finance. This is a topic I could talk about for a long time because it's personally interesting to me. But
Yeah,
I think for just doing your research and knowing your situation is the most important.
yeah. And I think one thing too, there's so many things involved in finances, but like I feel like trying to simplify it. Like it doesn't have to be difficult if you don't want it to be.
Yeah,
Like it could be as easy as opening up a retirement account and just put money in there, and then that's it.
yeah,
Like you don't have to know everything around finances to start working with it and to start paying attention to it. That makes sense. Like don't be intimidated because I don't know the X, Y, and Z. Because that was lucky me at first. I didn't know anything about anything, so I was kind of reserved in starting. But that shouldn't be a way to stop yourself because then you're missing out on whatever you could have been making.
yeah. I think it's definitely probably a little intimidating when you start out because a lot of things involved. Some people think investing is like gambling, but
Yeah,
if you're being smart, it's not. If you're investing in random stocks thinking it would go up and all,
yeah,
damn near is, but that's not smart. So
yeah. So I guess to wrap it up, I'll say one piece of advice, or not advice, but like a challenge for y'all as viewers is to, after this episode, start thinking about or going to open up at least one financial account that y'all might be needing right now, whether that is a retirement account, investment account, or just a credit card, savings account, anything. Whatever account that y'all don't have that y'all could use or might need, start looking into researching and open that up after this account.
Yeah. If you're, it depends on your situation too. If you have a job, I would say try to open up at least 2 accounts, the savings and checking. The savings should be high yields. So like 4% APY or more. Basically, that's just how much interest they give you per year. But your savings you should have at least 2, and then try to open an investment account if you can. If you don't have a job, obviously it's gonna look different because you're not making money, but you can still open a savings account and put whatever you have in there. Just let it grow.
Yeah, but hopefully you guys learned something from this conversation. If we say anything that you guys don't understand or don't know what it means, like, I challenge y'all to just look it up and do more work on your own, because obviously we're not experts for learning it.
This is not financial advice at all. We're not
experts. But
so
we know a thing or two. So hopefully that helped y'all out.
Yeah.
But appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and follow or subscribe depending on where y'all watching. But we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Catch you next time. Peace.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching.
If you got any suggestions on what we can do better, any feedback, or any guests you'd like to see on the podcast, feel free to leave it in the comment section below.
Don't forget, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Next time.
Thanks for watching.